Book of Thomas, saying number 14. Jesus said to them, "If you fast, you will give rise to sin for yourselves, and if you pray, you will be condemned. And if you give alms, you will do harm to your spirits. When you go into any land and walk about in the districts, if they receive you, eat what they set before you, and heal the sick among them. For what goes into your mouth will not defile you, but that which issues from your mouth, it is that which will defile you." Now, this is a book about consciousness. It's it's metaphysical, right? And so, if you fast, you will give rise to sin for yourselves. Now, fasting allows the body to repair, because the energy used for digestion is then used elsewhere. It could be used in the realms of higher consciousness. It could also be used to repair parts of the body that are damaged or not well. This is why animals, when they're ill, they don't eat. It's a natural thing. But if you fast when you're not ill, then that could cause sin for yourselves. And if you pray, you will be condemned. When you know and you're known, and you'll know this because you, the individual, will be shown, there's no need to pray, because you're known. If you're known, why would you want to pray? There's already communications going on. There's already a send and receive on the metaphysical plane. The connection has already been established, so you don't need to. Okay? And if you give alms, alms is charity, you will do harm to your spirits. Now, this is for the people, okay? No, I'm not there yet. Now, this is for the people that are at the more advanced level. How would I put this? It's a way, and everyone starts the journey at a different time, but the journey all goes to the same place. So there's going to be some advanced practitioners and some beginners, and there's of course going to be the people in the middle. So when you go into any land and walk about in the districts, if they receive you, eat what they set before you and heal the sick amongst them. Now, you can interpret that two ways. Eat, if they come up and present you with some dead flesh, eat it. Or it would be, to spiritually speaking, from a consciousness perspective, is when you're eating something, it's when you're taking it into you. So somebody might come to you and say something to you, but you're not taking their speech at face value. You can see more. They reveal more about themselves in their words than they are even aware of themselves. So you can see into them, so to speak. So they'll speak to you, and you're eating what they say. You're chewing the cud. Okay. So that's what you're eating. What's set before you. And then you chew the cud, and you give information back to them so they can respond appropriately to raise their own consciousness. Right, for what goes into your mouth will not defile you, but that which issues from your mouth, it is that which will defile you. Everything's back to front in this world. It's all upside down. It's all inside out. Everybody thinks that they are their name. They have forgotten who they really are. There's an entire system that's been designed to maintain this collective amnesia. And it's like a big game to them, but it has serious consequences. Have you ever noticed why your letters, whenever they're official letters, like a utility bill, car insurance, a government document, your name is always in capital letters? Look up legal name fraud. Okay, that's your legal identity. It is not you. You know, much as the same as that. My name, Danny Benson, is not me. It's just a label. It's something that I was given. Much like my DNA, I've inherited it from my forefathers. So don't attach yourself to your name. Don't attach yourself to anything. It's just a label. Don't attach yourself to the body. Look, if you've been born and your parents were genetically predisposed to produce a beautiful child, then you might be quite happy with the house that you're living in. On the other side of the coin is that some people's parents, both of them fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Now, ugly and beauty is often defined by cultural perceptions and inherited belief systems. So even they are misnomers. But if you're uncomfortable about aspects of your physical appearance, about your avatar, your body, then you need to overcome that. Because that negative thinking will produce negative feeling. And you're supposed to be raising the energy. And you can only do that if you learn how to love yourself. So for people that are starting out on the journey, right, this is where you have to clean your house. Get that energy moving, okay? And meditate. And that cleans the psychology. Okay, and then your body will start to work as it should do, and you'll have, epiphanies, and you'll begin to understand things more. The brain fog goes. There's less self-loathing, or wishing you were somebody else. That's why it says in the so-called 10 Commandments, do not covet somebody else's house. It's not talking about bricks and mortars. It's talking about bodies. Don't look at all these fucking celebrities, paraded before you as the beautiful ones. You're beautiful, but you've got to find that beauty within you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's not external to you. It's within. These simple idioms, everyone takes them at face value and never really gives them any thought. Like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Peter is Shimon Kephesh, or Simon Peter. And he was a disciple, a true disciple, whereas the Apostle Paul was not. The Apostle Paul is the fallen ego. Okay, whereas Shimon Kephesh was an enlightened being, symbolically speaking. So robbing Peter to pay Paul. Negative thoughts, beating yourself up. So you've got to be introspective on this stuff. So for what goes into your mouth will not defile you, but that which issues from your mouth, it is that which will defile you. Ancient Hebrew, abracadabra. Ab means father, Ra is light, kadabra, abracadabra. It means I create what I speak. Be careful what you say. Be mindful. Words are like bullets. They come out, and when they leave the barrel, you can't call that shit back. So be mindful of what you're doing. Have an intention. Too often in this world, people have no intent. You have to have an intention. There has to be a reason. And you can't reason something after the fact. You have to have it reasoned before. So you're going to say something and there's going to be a consequence or an action, a reaction. Okay? So be mindful of those things. What else can I add to that? If you fast, it's quite a complex one, that. I shall do 15 next.